the Rise with India podcast on ET Now.
Good morning. I'm Alex Matthew and this is the Rise with India podcast from ET Now. Over the next few minutes, we'll tell you everything that you need to know at the start of your day. I'll start with an update from the Indian Meteorological Department, and it's good news. Even as the southwest monsoon continues to elude parts of North India, including Delhi, the country has received 10% more rainfall than normal in June, according to the IMD. Currently, the northernmost limit of the southwest monsoon is passing through Barmer, Bhilwara, Dholpur, Aligarh, Meerut, Ambala and Amritsar. Further advancement, according to the IMD, into the remaining parts of Rajasthan, Delhi, Haryana and Punjab is not likely till the 7th of July. There were several updates last evening on the government's finances. First, higher tax and non-tax revenue alongside slightly lower expenditure helped improve the state of the government's finances. The April-May fiscal deficit stood at 1.23 lakh crore or 8.2% of the budget estimate. Last year, the fiscal deficit for the first 2 months of the financial year was at 59.6% of the budget estimate. Speaking of the government's finances, in a fresh round of austerity measures, the Finance Ministry has capped expenditure by various central ministries and departments at 20% of their budget allocations for the July to September quarter, according to a memorandum that was issued yesterday. The move comes close on the heels of the Department of Expenditure directing all ministries and departments to cut controllable expenditure by a fifth, along with 18 suggestions to curb spending ranging from advertisement and publicity to overtime allowance. In more news on the economy, 8 core infrastructure industries saw output fall 3.7% over the previous month in May. In April, output had dropped 12.4% compared with March, suggesting that the pace of decline in the economy was lower in May. Compared to a year ago, when the nationwide lockdown was in place, output across these industries was higher by as much as 16.8%. The central government has left unchanged interest rates on small savings schemes for the second quarter of the ongoing financial year. As things stand, therefore, rates on most small savings instruments remain above comparable bank deposit rates. India's drug regulator has denied permission to Dr. Reddy's to conduct phase 3 trials on the Russian vaccine Sputnik Light in India. This is not to be confused with the 2-dose Sputnik vaccine. The Sputnik Light is a single-dose variant of the vaccine. The Subject Expert Committee, which is a body under the drug regulator, did not find any scientific rationale to conduct phase 3 trials and hence did not consider Dr. Reddy's application. The government on Wednesday removed import restrictions on refined palm oil till the 31st of December this year. It's a move that could help increase the availability of the commodity in the domestic market and bring down prices. The government on Tuesday cut the basic customs duty on crude palm oil to 10% till September this year. And with that, it's over to Rohit Singh for the trade setup for the day in India. Morning, Rohit. How are we looking today?
Good morning, Alex. In the end, the selling pressure at highs overwhelmed a market that had opened with a gap up. We clawed back for a third day. On Nifty, 15,700 seems to be a level where it is finding considerable support. What led to the fall were PSU banking shares, but small and mid-cap pack endured the selling and ended with gains. Not just yesterday, the mid-cap index has now managed to rise for 13 months in a row. For Nifty IT, it was the best month of 2021. Foreign investors were marginal net buyers in the F&O segment, but in the cash segment, they sold shares worth about 1,650 crore rupees. Domestic institutional investors managed to offset that with a 1,500 crore rupee net buy. It was a day of fresh records on S&P 500, while Dow was helped by rally in Walmart shares. Nasdaq was quiet for the day, but for the first half of the year, US market clocked handsome double-digit returns. This captures a robust recovery since the start of the year. Let's now take a look at some of the active movers this morning. Vodafone Idea's net loss for Q4 has widened to 7,000 crore rupees. It was hit by an exceptional loss. SpiceJet will raise 2,500 crore rupees through a QIP and hive off its cargo business. The airline's fourth quarter loss narrowed to 235 crore rupees. Tata Steel plans to increase capacity in India and target 35 to 40 million tons per year output by 2030. Motilal Oswal has initiated coverage on specialty chemical space and says India's share in this sector is expected to double over the next 5 years. Bank of America Securities has initiated coverage on Manappuram Finance and Muthoot Finance with buy recommendations. The Capital Group, which manages over $2 trillion worth of assets across the world, has bought 2% stake in IFL Finance for 200 crore rupees. Watch out for the players in the optical fiber business. The cabinet has approved viability gap funding worth 19,000 crore rupees to connect all villages through optical fiber network under BharatNet. The drug regulator has denied permission to Dr. Reddy's to conduct phase 3 trials on Sputnik Light in India. July is shaping up to be one of the busiest months for IPOs. After 5 in June, 11 more companies including Zomato and Glenmark Life Sciences are planning to launch public issues this month. To recap, despite the routine volatility, Nifty has managed to rise for the 5th quarter in a row, as have the mid and the small caps, which shows that the broader trend within the phases of volatility has been upwards. We shall have to see how the month of July pans out for investors. Will the strength sustain or could we hit a rough patch of profit booking? That's all from my end. Wish you all a profitable day ahead. Thank you, and it's back to you, Alex.
Thanks, Rohit. And as always, thank you all for listening in. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great day.
The Rise with India podcast on ET Now.